Every sales manager thinks they're a leader, but most are just the loudest rep in a nicer shirt. They don't lead, they babysit. They're stuck putting out fires, fixing people's mistakes, and chasing the same problems every single week. Here's the truth. There are 7 levels to sales management, and most never make it past level 3. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which level you're at and what it takes to reach the top. Level 1 is a dictator. I'm out of sales, now I'm the manager. This is a manager who thinks their job is to tell people what to do. They've not understood the difference between managing and leading. They're completely stepping out of sales and they hide behind Slack messages. They don't really understand data, dashboards, hiring, or any of these things. They just have got the job and they're a sales rep. They're probably a good sales rep, but that naivety of being a sales rep is now bleeding over into their sales management. Your notes wasn't that good as a sales rep. You weren't that good at doing all the perfect tasks, but you're good at closing. You were good at getting deals over the line. You're savvy, you know how to say the right words, but now your team is going to multiply just with your skills, because your skills don't show them all around data management, CRM management. You just tell them what to do. You just have your bad habits as a sales rep, but now you're multiplying them into your team. But the one thing that you do know is how to sell. So you just tell people to sell more, you tell them what to do, and you don't fully understand why people can't perform. When someone's not performing, you don't really know how to coach, manage, get them to perform. You're not really people focused, but you think you are. It's hard to coach this person because they're very naive. And when you're understanding it and understanding there is another level, that's when your mind truly opens up, because now you're willing to learn. Most people don't get past this stage because they've never seen what good looks like, but this video will show you better. Level 2 is the amateur sales trainer. This guy, he's a sales trainer. He knows how to sell, but now he thinks, or she thinks, just teaching people how to sell is sales management. This is most of the industry, by the way. For example, this sales manager would be running the meeting and you could critique the call. Everyone can watch you take a call and you'll look impressive in front of everyone because you know how to sell. But now reps that are underneath you look up to you because you know how to sell. Therefore, they think they just need to copy you. You're not going to teach them. You can show them, you can tell them. They're not learning, they're not making changes. Their close rates aren't growing week on week, but they are understanding what you do and they're inspired by you. You're the manager of the department, but you're not a leader yet. You're just the amateur sales trainer. This actually gets you to a certain level because most companies hire level 1 to 3 type of people, because those good marketers, those good CMOs, those business owners don't really know what an amazing sales manager does. So they'll fall into the category of, he's a good closer, I think he'll make a great manager. It's just worlds apart. And you'll find that out in the later stages of this video. If your training sounds motivational, not instructional, you're still a rep with a clipboard. Real training begins with clarity, not charisma. At this stage, you must turn instinct into process. Framework, scripts, drills, feedback, loops. Until you can teach what you do, you're not leading, you're performing. Once you learn how to transfer all these skills instead of just showing off, you evolve into the next stage. In level 3, you're now a coach. You understand the difference between telling someone what to do, showing someone what to do, and teaching them. You know how to be patient. You know you only need to show them one thing every week. In this level, you just realize that if I just blurt things and blurt feedback, they're not going to improve. They're not really going to make change in their life. If you've ever had coaching from any high-level coach, any sport, when you do anything wrong, they give you a critique on just one thing. If I was to do a squat and I was to go down on the bar and my chest came down, my knees caved in, my elbows weren't looking right, someone who's an amateur coach will say, hey man, keep your chest up, keep your knees out, pull your elbows back. But a professional will say, next rep, when you do that set, just keep your knees out. And that's it. Focus on that one thing. And once you've done that right, they'll say, okay, on this rep, focus on keeping your chest up, or on this set. And they allow you to make changes one at a time. And they understand how to speak to you. And a coach caters the learning based upon the student's requirements. So if you see your closers and your setters as students and you're teaching them, your job is to not teach them the way you teach them. It's to teach them the best way that they learn. So you have to be understanding different learning styles, different methodologies of teaching. And this is a good coach. This person now understands sales, but understands sales training, but understands the coaching element of sales training, which is why you've got to level 3. Level 4 for a sales manager is the sales operator. You can drive performance and accountability. You've mastered communication and coaching. So now another layer has added on top of that coaching. Now it's about control through clarity. You're no longer the energy of the room, you're the rhythm of it. You run meetings with structure, you hold people accountable, KPIs are reviewed, standards are clear, and when reps miss, you know exactly why, because you've built a rhythm into their system. Accountability isn't pressure, it's clarity. You know how to balance leadership with leverage. When you have your one-to-ones, when you have your weekly reports, when you run your daily reports, when you're doing your one-on-ones with the reps, your coaching is built around data, not emotion. And you no longer chase motivation, you create momentum. Because now you understand the operation of the team. You understand how the flow of data is supposed to be. But you can't truly scale yet. You need to now think beyond the team. You now need to understand how your department connects to the business. But now the strategist in level 5 understands data, marketing, recruiting. This level of manager understands what metrics affect which department. And I'll give you an example. You can look at the data of different sales people that have come in and seeing the LTV. So you can see when they come through a certain funnel, when they come through a certain method, when they're sold to them a certain way, when they buy a certain price, they upsell, they don't upsell. You can start to see trends because you're speaking to CS. The next one is when you see your marketing department and you look at which sources are bringing in the right types of leads. And you don't just wait for your CMO to go into attribution software. You actually are aware of it as well. You understand which campaigns are doing good. You don't need to be a media buyer. That is somebody else's job. But you understand very well what campaigns are bringing in which type of people. You understand the flow of leads from each campaign. Those people sound different. Their needs sound different. Because you understand data, you understand when one campaign brings you more setter sales and one campaign brings you more sales from the VSL. Because if some leads are coming in straight from the VSL, the call funnel, and some leads are coming in with setter activity, those might be two different campaigns. And you understand because you look at the data properly, you can actually go to the CMO and give them feedback and say, hey, I think maybe a good idea to spend more money on this specific campaign. If your CMO is doing all the lifting, they're not going to see you as a player who can speak to the rest of the team. Remember, if you want to progress to a sales director, maybe run a bigger sales organization one day, you have to be able to speak to marketing, and their language is to understand data to the highest degree. You understand the business's cost of acquisition, how it affects the business. You understand show rate, you understand conversions, and you understand how each of these affects different areas of the business. And you move from managing people to managing performance at scale. The smartest managers hire ahead of growth, not behind it. You already know how many reps you need before the ad spend goes up. So when it goes up, you've got the team ready. And now you can start doing forecasting and start collaborating with other departments and actually growing this business. And the CEO starts to see you as a true leader. But there's still higher level skills than this. Ones where you stop running the team and you start running the entire engine. Level 6 is the department owner. You run a machine. At this level, you're no longer managing the team. You're managing a division. Your CEO can delete their CRM login. They don't even need to look. You've got everything handled. They have the pressure come off them so they can focus on growing the business. And you make strategic decisions on comp plans, quotas, and structure. This business makes a considerable amount of money. It might be moving towards an 8-figure or towards a mid 8-figure business. So they might be making the deca millions now because now you're in 20, 30, 40 million at least. When you own a department, you stop asking for permission and you start becoming the solution. And this is operational mastery. You own the numbers, the people, the outcomes. It's all predictable. It's a flow. You've become the CEO's right hand, not their replacement, but their leverage. Now you're competent, you handle things at the highest level, you understand data, reporting, you work in every department. But now you need to do one more thing. And the highest level of sales management is that you're a builder. And you build other sales managers. Because when you can build other sales managers, that's when you're a true sales manager, because you can create others, you can duplicate others, you can replace yourself out of your role and you can move up. We will only ever promote a sales manager to a sales director when they can hire someone, train that person as a sales manager, that person getting close to equal results, and then they move up. You hire and train your own replacement and you get promoted. The highest form is that you have a personal development plan for everyone and you're developing the entire team. You're developing the setter manager to become a sales manager. You're developing the closer on becoming a sales manager. Every person has a development plan. every person is becoming a leader under you. Each person wants to strive to be just like you. You've not just bullied, coerced, you've not just forced people to do a task based upon a punishment, but people love working for you. People want to be on your team. You're known as the guy or the girl who everyone wants to work for. And that person has this energy where they run the organization. They're seen as the person who's going to keep the business growing. You're the lifeblood of the business because the businesses rely on your leadership. And then when you can create other leaders, you can now go on holiday and your business is running itself. And this is how you can create a business within the business that you work for. The builder is the sales manager that's done all the tracking, reporting, predictable data. He's done all of these levels. Most closers come into sales management believing that sales management is just sales training. And it's the biggest horseshit out there because no one's showing reps what good sales management looks like. They've never seen a good example, or they've only ever seen one side of a sales manager. They don't see the stresses of the sales manager outside of the sales training. And because sales managers aren't developing reps, we're then having reps that are becoming lower level sales managers. So the mission is to develop great sales leaders, so great sales managers will develop other sales managers. And that's the whole point of this video. Capitalism grows when you can actually grow your wealth and grow your skill set. And part of conscious capitalism is that you actually can help other people earn more money. It's not just about you earning money. Everyone should win. It's a good deal for everyone. If you'd like to leave a comment on what level that you feel like you're at right now and you feel like you need to learn, I can then make a video to show you how you can go from that level 2, 3, 4, 5 to the next level. And if you're interested in becoming a sales manager with us, see the link in the description and speak to the team, and I'll catch you in the next video.